Now, lately I've actually read an interesting comment on my latest video titled Affiliated with No Political Parties, and I thought I should read it to you guys real quick. And here it says, why does no one ever mention the real controllers, the puppet masters? Hillary? Which one? There clearly are at least two. It's the string pullers that we need to expose. Now, you see, he made a very good point because the ones who pull the strings, they control the elections. They decide who becomes president of the United States. After all, it's just like what Franklin Roosevelt said. Presidents are not elected, they are selected, which means that they are picked to become president of the United States before the election even starts. That's how scripted and staged the whole thing is. Not to mention, these masters, these puppeteers who control everything, they manipulate the stock market. They manipulate the prices of gas prices. They they start wars. They stage wars. They stage and start terrorist attacks. If you don't believe me, I mean, you have two quotes that I'd like to mention. Colonel Fletcher even mentioned, "Nothing happens by mistake. Everything is planned." And there is another former British Prime Minister by the name of Dennis Healey who even said, "You can." I don't remember the exact quote, but I'm gonna try to remember and sum it up the best way I can. He actually said, "Rest assured, uh, it's guaranteed that nothing actually happens by mistake. Most of the incidents that you know about have always been staged." Somewhere along those lines. So, a former British Prime Minister, Dennis Healey, even said it. And Colonel Fletcher, he himself also said, "Nothing happens by mistake, everything is planned." And he's right. This is why all wars start with a false flag operation. And if these people can manipulate wars and actually start wars and stage wars and as well as staging terrorist attacks, just like how these so-called puppeteers, these masters, these puppet masters, the controllers who, try to what's it called, shift the course of humanity, they're the ones who funded Hitler and staged the whole burning of the Third Reich, or the Reichstag, as the proper name is called. So with that being said, you can bet your bottom dollar that these are the same people who also control the election and they decide the results. They control the outcome of the results when it comes to the elections that have been staged for almost 100 years now in the United States of America. So that's just the problem. And he's right about that. This is a comment from YouTube, and to be honest with you, I mean, before my videos were erased years ago, I used to talk about how everything was staged, and for the elections and everything else, it's no different. So with that being said, he's right, and I agree with that. We do need to expose the real puppeteers who manipulate everything behind the scenes. People call it a shadow government, but nobody really knows what the real name is because supposedly 7 people manipulate and control all the wealth of the entire world. So, with that being said, I think it's definitely safe to say that they need to be exposed. But you see, I mean, there are so many puppeteers and masters. Some people say, that they're called the Bilderberg Group and this and that and what have you. But I don't even want to mention those names. I just refer to them as the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers because they're the driving force when it comes to manipulating everything that happens behind the scenes, and that's why a lot of these elites, or the elitists, as I'd like to call them, they're at the top of the pyramid. That's just the bottom line. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, oh yeah, they run. It's all behind the scenes, and they're the strongest force when it comes to the elites. They are the strongest force and the top strongest components in the elite circle, and that's a fact. So they all need to be exposed. I mean, you could throw the Clintons and the Warburgs in there if you want. That's the bottom line. Because they've all have had a history of being in the elite circle. And they are the ones who and because of them, They're the reason why every single president has been a puppet and sold out to the system. That's a fact. Stay tuned because I'll be making more videos soon.